Shalom Israel, and welcome to Hebrew Chronicles Publishing. On today's segment, we're going to be talking about one of our new short story arcs that we're going to be introducing. It's entitled The Prophet. Now, of course, The Prophet is going to be coming after the Deer arc. So we're going to be discussing a little bit of what consists of the story called The Prophet. Now, if you've been following us for a little while and have read short story arcs from us entitled like the Zadok arc from the 12 Tribes series, it was a breakdown. We had it previously uploaded to our DeviantArt webpage. We ended up taking certain of those things down and placing them in the Patreon because we want to actually honor our patrons who support us with just $1 a month. So if you actually read some of our stuff and you actually like our literature, become a patron for just $1 a month. You get access to all of the story arcs that we had available and have updates on those which will be coming out, like this one here today we'll be discussing. So let's get back to The Prophet. Unlike some of the other story arcs, which will be regularly based off the scriptures and a lot of action things and such, this one here is going to be more of a drama. Now, drama is something that I used to not like watching, but I kind of found myself getting into it more when I started watching some MTV shows such as like Teen Wolf and others. It kind of sparked some ideas and I'm like, hey, I got an idea for a new story, So I started drafting mentally a story called, The Prophet. So let's give you a backstory of what The Prophet's about. The main character, his name is Yuri. Now, Yuri is a child born of a Judite father, but his mother was from Ishmael. Now, the father was in the military. He traveled from place to place. He was always on different missions. He was away from home all the time. So the son really never got a chance to understand his father. Now, his mother, on the other hand, being an Ishmaelite, you already know what she dabbles in. So, like the scriptures say in one of the prophets, that the children that didn't speak the language of fathers, they adopted the religion, the customs, and the language of the mother because she's the one that raises them. So, likewise, into this story, the father is always away. The child pretty much didn't know anything too much about his history or his nationality or anything. He was just raised as a regular child, African American, right? He just had different features because he picked up a lot of traits from his mother on his mother's side. Now, his mother, like I said, was from Ishmael, and she has this family that's pretty much surrounds himself in like a mafia type organization. They do a lot of damage in this story, but the story arc itself is mainly not going to consist of them until the second part of the arc. The first part of this arc, Yuri is going to actually face, once he starts to understand his own abilities and pretty much learn from the man who teaches him. And he's pretty much considers himself as a scribe. His job is to educate the prophet. The prophet's job is to understand who he is, what his responsibilities are, and execute those responsibilities. So he finds out that his responsibilities is to wake up his people. But at the same time, he has a lot of these organizations after him. Now, these other organizations, such as one that's going to be involved in this first series called the Fangs. Now, the Fangs is a underground organizations that pretty much use people on the streets to apprehend strays, runaways, mainly women. The Fang is a big organization. You have the hierarchs, which is the main bad guy. He has a following, or pretty much, I would say, a councilman of 6 other members, and then those 6 other members have henchmen, and those henchmen have followers, and those followers are going to be the main focus of that arc, because they're going to actually be the ones reaching out to these other people on the streets that steals and kidnaps these children and women and offer them into sex trafficking or offer their blood as a sacrifice. So Yuri is being counseled by this scribe. He's going to pretty much introduce himself, who he is, and he's going to give him his history in the Bible and what his responsibilities are. And he's going to tell him that his life is in trouble because out of all of the people on the planet, he has been endowed with spiritual talent, spiritual power that other people can't have. He has physical capabilities, master over martial arts, but these things you have to unlock over time because he doesn't know them. He just understands that there's certain things that happen to him and he's trying to figure out, like, how can I do this? How can I do that? I'm sure some of us have been in a situation, you're like, sometimes like brothers, we've probably been in fights. We never threw blows at all. And when our first battle, like, people are like, I never knew you can do that. You yourself didn't know you can do that, but it's in you. As Israelites, we have been endowed with these talents. When we read the scriptures, we descend from warriors, you know. So there's going to be a lot of things that we don't know we can do, and we won't know until we put in that situation. You know, that's the whole point of a trial, to test you. That's what God does. He tests us. But Yuri is going to be put in a position where he's going to be forced to actually be able to bring out some of his talent. But these organizations, once they find out who he is or what he is, they're going to know we're going to have to stop this kid before he ascends. Because once he ascends, he's going to be too powerful. Unlike them, he really has power, you know, untapped, unlimited power as a God that he is. But only certain ones were elected to have that spiritual power. Like Israelites in the Bible, all of us are sons of God. All of us are deemed as gods, but only certain ones were elected to have different type of abilities. Like King David had physical power. Moses had spiritual power, just like Eli. All of us don't have those same abilities. So each generation is going to actually have you're going to have a certain chosen individual. Yuri is that chosen in this story arc. So this whole arc is going to be really about the main antagonist of the story, which is not even an outer member. She's actually pretty much a supplier. Her job is to really apprehend these characters or these women and children who are lost, don't know who they are, or just ran away from home and they're looking for comfort. She actually ends up finding ways to kidnap them either by force or trickery into putting them into these organizations, either as a recruit or as prey. Yuri's job is to find out what his responsibilities are, what he's supposed to do, and who he is, and go out there and save his people. So hopefully you like that intro. I do have some I think there were wallpapers that I created as a representation of what the characters kind of look like in the story. They're available on our Instagram page, and we're also going to be showing them also on our Facebook soon. But like I said before, if you actually are interested in reading something like this, become a Patreon, and by joining a Patreon for $1 a month, you'll get access to all of our character arcs and stories, whether they actually partake in a book or it's just a great standalone. Just $1 a month, you'll get access to all of those and updates whenever pretty much new ones come out, as we're discussing today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Shalom. Most High in Christ bless.